Yo, what's up everyone? Daniel Yuck here. Thank you all for tuning in today. I appreciate you. In today's video, we are going to be diving into an in-depth review and unboxing of the CNC S1 Tattoo Machine. Should you have any questions at any point throughout this video, I encourage you to drop a comment down below and I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. I will also leave links for you in the description below so you can check this out on your end. If you find this video helpful and enjoy my YouTube channel, consider becoming a patron or purchasing a super thanks down below, as I would truly appreciate your support. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive straight on into this. So let's begin from the top. Let's take a close-up look at the packaging here. And for those who have purchased CNC machines, this is a pretty familiar box, just different sizing. All of them are pretty much a bit different in size, but as you can see, it's labeled as the CNC S1 right here. So just to confirm, this is a CNC S1 Tattoo Machine. Let's take a look at what's in the box here. Taking a close-up look under the hood, we are greeted with a user manual that states S1. Feel free to pause at any point so that way you can read this on your end. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of skim through the user manual here for those who care about this stuff. Here are all the specs. This is actually a really in-depth manual right here. So you can see though that this kind of goes on and on and on. It's giving us detailed information about the machine itself, and then it goes into a different language, as you can see up here. So there we have the S1 user manual. Let's check out what else comes inside. So as you can see right here, we are greeted with the actual tattoo machine right here. There is going to be some accessories under there. We'll get to that here shortly. This is a part of the S1 tattoo machine. As you can see, it is a click grip. And it does come with two different batteries, if I'm reading this correctly. Or actually, I'm sorry, forgive me. This is actually an RCA adapter and a battery. So it's not two different batteries. We have the RCA adapter. As you saw, it is magnetic there. So if you put it on, it goes right on and then you're good to go. So we can use third-party power supplies or the battery itself. And this is the battery, and as you can see, it goes on pretty easily. So all I'm going to do is place it on, lock it in, and we're good to go. Oh, that's cool. They put the CNC graphic in the startup. So we're running at 8 volts here. And it does have a shading and lining setting. So let's say if we click the shading, it changes. Lining, you can see the little indicator right there. So we are at 8 volts. And it does fluctuate by single increments, as you can see. This is going to be fully subjective, but me personally, I like the dual tone. I like this silver look and I like the black look. For me, it kind of looks cool. That's growing on me very, very quickly. But just to give us a rundown of the machine, as you can see, it is a click grip. We have a shading and a lining setting. And then we have the basic parameters up here: power on and off, voltage up, voltage down. But I'm going to turn it all the way around so that way I can give you a close-up look here at what you can expect from this machine right here. The grip design is a bit different. Actually, the entire tattoo machine is a bit different from what I am typically used to. Let's see if the grip comes off here. So as we can see, the grip does come off all the way. Just to confirm and reiterate, it is a click grip, as you can hear. Let's take a close-up look at what else is within the packages here, and then we can go ahead and get into the performance of the machine and other aspects of this machine. And it is a 3.5 millimeter stroke. I love that it has an RCA adapter, so we can use a third party wireless power supply or the battery that it came with. That right there is a thumbs up from me, or actually 2 thumbs up. Let's take out that foam plating, and then here we have the accessory box. And within here we get an RCA cable, we get an assortment of O-rings, as we can see, and then we get a charging cable, and that's everything that comes within there. So there's no like extra cams or anything like that, but there is an assortment of O-rings here, as we can see, and the RCA cable. All very straightforward stuff. So in terms of unboxing and what's in the packaging, that is everything that comes within the CNC S1 Tattoo Machine. What I would like to do is test out how this machine runs a needle. So right here I have a CNC Police tattoo needle. I'm going to place it in. As you can see, it goes in with no problems. For those who are curious, no issues whatsoever. Tighten it in and we're good to go. I really love how that CNC logo comes out like that. So you can see needle depth adjusting is actually pretty easy, pretty seamless. So you can see that the adjustability is super simple, super easy. And this is the way that the machine sounds pushing the CNC Police 5-round shader. And if I haven't said that, this is a 5-round shader. Very smooth and consistent at first glance. And keep in mind, we're just dry running this. We're actually going to test the performance and everything. By the end of this video, you will be acquainted with this machine and you will know what to expect. But at initial impressions, right out the box, it definitely feels like a solid machine. Has some nice weight to it as well. It's stable and consistent. I don't notice any adverse fluctuations or anything like that. We're running at 8 volts right here, as you can see. So very nice and smooth. Now what I would like to do is disassemble the machine, and I want to show you how the machine comes apart. So we can remove the battery that it comes with. We can remove the grip. And then after this, we'll go ahead and get into wrapping. Remove the grip like so. And then from here, you're going to see this part right here. This part actually comes off. So all I'm going to do is turn it like so. And you can see I now have direct access to the motor. So for me, these are some of my favorite design machines where we can access everything like this. For me, these are my favorite type of machines. The build, when we can fully disassemble to get into all of the little nooks and crannies for cold sterilization, that is key for me. Allow me to show you this part and then I'll show you the motor. So this is the housing where this would go into like so. And this right here is the motor itself. This is the top part, and this looks like a plastic swing arm or plastic cam right here. This is the motor right here. So it is of a plastic material. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the plastic material. We're gonna have to see how that holds up over some time, but it does feel like a good quality plastic. It doesn't feel flimsy or cheap or anything like that. But you can see that that's the motor section right here. So here's one part of the machine. Here is another part of the machine. So here's one part, here's another part, here's another part, and here's another part. So right there, the fact that we can disassemble, for me personally, for those who are familiar with my channel and style of tattoo machines, I personally like when a machine disassembles like this. So again, we can get really in there and sterilize with more effectiveness in terms of cold sterilizing. So for me, that's just a plus. The fact that the machine does come apart like this, we can clean this part with some Opticide, wipe it all down, get some Q-tips yet again, get the Q-tips where we need to get them. But overall, what I'm trying to say is this is awesome. These are my favorite type of machines when we can actually take them apart to sterilize and get into all the little nooks and crannies. Assembly is very, very straightforward, so you're kind of going to want to repeat that process in reverse. So I'm just going to grab this. You're going to want to be real careful when you're placing this in there so that way we don't damage that arm. I'm going to place it in there, and all I'm going to do is begin to screw it on like so. Make sure it's tightened in there, and as you can see, it's nice and snug fit in there. And then from here you can begin putting it all back together. And then this goes up top, and we're ready to rock again. You can see everything is working as it should. Full needle depth adjustability there. So that is how we would go about disassembling and assembling the CNC S1 Tattoo Machine. What I would like to get into now is I want to just test how it runs with a third-party power supply. We'll get into wrapping, performance, and then we can go ahead and conclude the review. So here I have one of my first wireless power supplies that I ever picked up when I started tattooing. Allow me to check out how it works with this adapter. So it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. The magnet pretty much does all the work. From here, I'm going to plug this in like so. From here, we can go ahead and fire up the machine just to test it out. So you can see we're running at 7.2 volts, and we're still getting action there. So you can see it's fully subjective. You can choose to tattoo with this battery, or you can have third-party wireless power supplies like this and use the adapter. To each their own. You will get to where you're going. It actually feels the same to me in terms of performance. I don't notice much fluctuations there. As you can see, it's stable and consistent. I just wanted to show you all that the RCA adapter works well. So that's going to be fully subjective. To me personally, I love when machines have that ability when we can use an RCA or a wireless battery. That's awesome in my opinion. So let's actually go ahead and get into the wrapping aspect. When it comes to wrapping pin style tattoo machines, I pretty much use the same approach for pin style tattoo machines. Where I typically begin is I always remove the grip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a barrier over the first part of the machine, over the top part, and then I'm going to create a barrier on the grip. So allow me to show you here. So I am using saran wrap. You can use any plastic you'd like, but me personally, I like saran wrap. It's easy to work with. I gotten used to it over the time, and it just works for me. I'm able to create as many layers as I need as well. So that's why I personally go with saran wrap. You could use blue film, to each their own. So what I'm going to do is I simply place the plastic up top. I don't want to get too much in this area because I'm going to wrap that with another piece of saran wrap. And then I'm going to do my best to place this on as uniform as I can. We're not going for perfection. All we need is a wrap that works. So I'm going to pull right here so that way we're getting some tension on the plastic, like so. Then from here, I'm going to bring this on over to the side and then just wrap it around like so. So that's how I'm going to go about wrapping the top part of the machine. I can see everything right here. I know it's a bit tough to see through the camera right here, and even with this plastic blocking the screen, but as we can see, the 3 buttons are still right here. So all we have to do is hold this middle one down to get the machine going. So it still has full functionality there. So now I have the top part of my machine covered. From here, I'm going to place the grip back on, and then we're going to repeat that process with the bottom part of the grip. And that's why we don't go all the way down here, because this still needs to screw back on all the way up to the top. And then we're going to repeat that. I'm going to get another piece of saran wrap right here, and then I'm just going to wrap it around this side right here. And then repeat that process. And then from here, I'm just going to try my best to avoid putting these plastics together. The reason being is I want to be able to adjust my needle depth on the fly. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Or that's exactly how I set it up, so that way I'm able to adjust my needle depth on the fly. And then from here, with all of this extra slack, I just simply wrap it around to make my grip a little bit bigger. I do like bigger grips, so it works out well. And then from here, we're going to want to get adhesive wrap and add it around the machine to kind of keep the plastic in play and to provide a little bit more stability and comfort. So we have a layer up top, we have a layer at bottom, so we have a layer around our entire machine. Our machine is low risk. I'm going to simply apply this adhesive where needed, and this is going to be to each their own. You don't have to go all the way up. For me, I'm just going to put a layer around here, take it off like so. Then I'm going to put another one around the grip. Typically when the grip tape is bigger than the adhesive, what I would do is I'll cut out a piece that's necessary, and then I'll just simply fold it off a little bit like so. So this one doesn't need too much trim, but you can see how I'm just going to take a little bit off of the width of the adhesive, so that way I could fit it comfortably around the grip of the machine. Like this, like this, and then I'm just gonna wrap it around. As you can see, it's a better fit than the full length or the full width of the adhesive. And then this is gonna be, again, for stability so that my hand doesn't slip while I'm tattooing, and it's for comfort because tattooing on metal for several hours can be pretty tedious. So as you can see, my machine is now wrapped with adhesive and plastic, and this machine is now ready to rock. And wrapping the CNC S1 is as simple as that. I also just want to show you that we have the full wrapping, and you can see we could still have needle depth adjustability with a full wrapping around the machine. So now that we're acquainted with the CNC S1 Tattoo Machine, let's go ahead and switch on over to another angle. We're going to test out the performance. We're going to see the capabilities of this tattoo machine. We'll come back and I'll conclude this video. Allow me to conclude the video by relaying some of my final opinions and some insight on how I feel about the CNC S1 Tattoo Machine. I'm going to take it from the top here, starting with the machine design. I am in favor of the machine design, and from me, I'm definitely going to give it a 5 stars easy. Here's why. Whenever I get a tattoo machine, me personally, I like to be able to disassemble the entire machine so that way I can get into all of the nooks and crannies when sterilizing. As we are able to fully disassemble the machine, I'm able to remove the grip, I'm able to remove the body, take out the motor and the battery. So that's 4 different components: the grip, the body, the motor, and then the battery. So with that being said, it makes it easy to go ahead and actually get into all the crevices for cold sterilizing. So I am in favor of the design, and not only that, as seen in the video as well, the performance is there. Whenever I test out a new tattoo machine, I always do my essentials for my style of tattooing, and that's what we need to consider when watching my reviews. When I am testing out the performance, I'm testing out the lining, I'm testing out the dot work, I'm testing out the stipple shading, smooth shading, I'm testing out packing black color, I'm testing out all the main elements of tattooing that one would use within tattooing. And when I put the CNC S1 to the test, as seen in the video, everything checked out, from the lining, dot work, shading, packing black. It was all there. This machine definitely does perform on all fronts. It is a 3.5 stroke. However, when I was lining, it felt like it was hitting a bit harder, but that's going to be to each their own. For you, you may feel like it hits a bit softer, but for me, it did have a nice punch when hitting. When considering the design, when considering the performance, for me, I can feel that this is an easy 5 stars because of those 2 reasons alone. Not only that, I do love the fact that it came with a powerful battery, and I do love the fact that it came with an RCA adapter, and these are magnetic, so they're really easy to put on and off, and that's another plus for me, making it 5 stars easy. That right there is how I feel about the CNC S1 Tattoo Machine. It is a well-rounded tattoo machine, and I would highly recommend to check it out on your end. I will leave links for you in the description below so you can do so. If you also have any questions, please drop them in the comment section down below, and I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. If you enjoyed this video or enjoy my channel, consider becoming a Patreon or purchasing a super thanks down below, as your support would be greatly appreciated. I also have social medias under the same name as this YouTube channel. I would also appreciate the support on there as well. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for me and ring that bell, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. Thank you for tuning in yet again. You have a great day.